instead this is back in another one. Today we're going to look at inequality in one triangle. So there are many ways that you can prove that when you have largest angle, smallest angle, longest side, and shortest side. So it goes as follows. In any triangle, that the larger the angle is, the longest the side opposite to it is. The smaller the angle is, the shorter the side that is opposite to the angle is. So you can do it vice versa. If you have a triangle, try to put your angles in ascending orders from small to large, or you can put your side from small to large, or vice versa, or you can put them in descending orders from greatest to smallest. So in this case, you will know in what order those angles falls or what this side falls. So let's look that. Say that you may discover a relationship between the position of the longest and the shortest side of a triangle in the position of its angle. So you have a triangle in this case that's called triangle ABC, and you have this side that are 12, 15, and 20. So since 20 is the longest side, all right, 20 is the largest number, therefore AB will be the longest side of the triangle. So if you look opposite to angle C, therefore AC, angle C will be the largest angle in the triangle. And as you can see, 12 is the smallest number, therefore the angle that is opposite to 12, so this side is AC, the angle that is opposite to AC is angle B. Angle B will be the smallest angle. Angle B will be the smallest angle in this triangle. So as you can see, that angle C is opposite to AB, and AB has 20 units. Therefore, AB will be the longest side, and since angle C is opposite to AB, angle C will be the largest angle in the triangle. Will be the largest angle in the triangle. And since size CB is 15, that will be the middle number. Therefore, that will be the medium angle. And 12 is the smallest number. Therefore, the angle that is opposite to it is angle B. Angle B will be the smallest angle in the triangle. Vice versa. If you look at this triangle, that ABC, again, angle A is 30 degrees, angle B is 93 degrees, angle C is 57 degrees. So you can write those letters in ascending order from small to the largest number. Therefore, angle A is the smallest angle, but if you look opposite to it, the side that is opposite to angle A is side BC. BC will be the shortest side of the triangle. Since 93 is the largest angle, then the side that is opposite to 93, the largest angle, will be the longest side. The longest side in the triangle. So those are the inequality that you need to be aware of in a triangle. So those are the inequality in a triangle. So it goes as follows. The larger the angle is, the longest this side that is opposite to it will be. The smaller the angle is, the shorter this side opposite to the angle going to be. So it is essential to identify the value of the angle. and the length of the side. If this side is extremely large, and the angle that is opposite to it will be the greatest, the largest angle. In this case, you need to pay attention to that. So when you're doing your work, you can make a prediction what range that your numbers need to be fall in. Alright? We have another theorem that said if one side of a triangle is longer than another side, then the angle opposite to the longest side is larger than the angle opposite to the shortest side. So technically that's what we said earlier. If we already claim that the larger the angle is, the side opposite to it will be the longer. So vice versa. If you have two numbers, so we have triangle ABC in there again in green. So we have AB, which is 3. Therefore, angle C is opposite to 3. Then we have BC, which is 5 units, then is opposite to angle A. Since A is larger, 5 is larger than 3, and angle A is opposite to 5, we will claim that measure of angle A is greater than measure of angle C. So remember, the larger this side, the longest this side is, and the angle that is opposite to it will be the greatest. So since 5 is opposite to angle A will be larger than angle C. So 3 is smaller than 5. So that side is shorter than side AB is shorter than side BC. So the longer this side is, the larger the angle that is opposite to it going to be. This shorter this side of a triangle is, the smaller the angle that is opposite to it will be. So if you look at the other theorem, it says that if one angle of a triangle is larger than another angle, then the side opposite to the larger angle is longer than the side opposite to the smaller angle. So the same thing we have here is the inverse of this theorem we just explained. We have the following two angles. Angle D is 60, angle E is 40. Therefore 40 is lesser than 60. So the side that is opposite to angle E is DF. Therefore DF will be shorter than the side that is opposite to angle D. Therefore EF will be greater than DF. So the largest angle is, the side opposite to it will be the longest. So in this case, angle E is smaller than 60. Therefore, since angle E is opposite to DF, DF will be the shortest side. And 60 is greater than 40, then the side that is opposite to DF will be greater. Therefore, in this case, EF it will be greater than DF. So those are the properties that you have to pay attention to. Right? So those are the properties that we are playing with. That's called triangle inequality. So if you can get those things out of the way early, then we will be in business. So that's our objective, to identify those properties. Alright, we resume. We have an exterior angle theorem. The exterior angle theorem stated that the measures of an exterior angle of a triangle is greater than the measure of either of the non-adjacent interior angle, which makes sense. So we knew from prior knowledge that the measure of the exterior angle should equal to the sum of the two remote interior angle. If it's equal to the sum of the two remote interior angle, according to that theorem, that the measure of the exterior angle itself will greater than each remote interior angle individually. So which is make it a good sense that if measure of angle 1 is equal to sum of measure of angle A plus measure of angle B, then we can conclude that measure of angle 1 itself is greater than measure of angle B, and measure of angle 1 is greater than measure of angle A. So if we use values to that, that we use that measure of angle B is 50 and measure of angle A is 60. So from prior knowledge, we know that to find measure of angle 1, it must be equal to measure of angle A plus measure of angle B. So measure of angle 1 will have been equal to 60 plus 50, which is 110. Now, this theorem stated that measure of angle 1 is greater than measure of angle A itself. Is that true? If measure of angle 1 is 110, then you will see that measure of angle 1, which is 110, must be greater than measure of angle A, which is 60. It just makes sense. And also it says that measure of angle 1 must be greater than measure of angle B. If measure of angle 1 is 110, we just found from the previous theorem, and measure of angle B is 50, then it is also true that the measure of the exterior angle itself will always be greater the measure of each remote interior angle. So that's what the exterior angle theorem says. That so in this case we can say that we have two exterior angle theorem. Or the first one from prior knowledge stated that the measure of the exterior angle of a triangle should equal to the two non-adjacent angle, to the sum of the two non-adjacent angle. Now we have the exterior angle in the triangle inequality that stated that the measure of the exterior angle will be greater than each remote interior angle individually. So that also check. Now we're moving on the triangle inequality that stated that the sum of the length of 82 sides of a triangle is greater than the length of the test side of the triangle. So it stated that in order to create a triangle, in order for the three vertices to be connected, that if you add 82 sides of a triangle, it must be greater than the test side. And this must occur 3 times. You have to try that all of the 3 ways. If it fails any part of the sequence, then it will not be met. So in this case, they said if you add the length of AB plus BC must be greater than AC. If you add the length of AB plus AC must be greater than that of BC. And if you add length BC plus length AC must be greater than of AB. In this case, we are giving side AB, which is 8 unit, BC 6 unit, and AC 9 unit. So we're going to look at the first scenario. AB is 8. If you take 8 and you add length BC, which is 6, it must be greater than 9. Alright? So if you take 6 plus 8 is 14. As you can see, that you will see 14 greater than 9. In this case, you have a check. And you need to continue doing that 3 ways, all of the 3 times. Now, you're going to try this, AB plus AC. AB, which is 8, we'll have 8, plus AC, which is 9. that must be greater than BC, which is 6. So when you add 8 plus 9 is 17. As you can see, 17 is greater than 6. That is checked. And you still have to check the third ways to see if it's work. If it does not pass all of the 3 tests, therefore you will not be able to create a triangle. If you take the length of BC, which is 6, you take 6, and you add the length of AC, which is 9. Alright? That must be the length of AB, which is 8. In this case, you will have 6 plus 9, which is 15. In this case, 15 must be greater than 8. If that happens all of these 3 times it's true, then it's validate the triangle inequality theorem that if in any given situation, if you have a triangle that you add the length of any 2 sides of the triangle, it will be greater than the third side of the triangle. Recall that. Let's see. And based on that, we can go again with this same triangle. We're going to recap everything that we have learned in that situation. Alright, it says the triangle inequality. That if you have any triangle, in this case, we're going to use that same triangle, that the longer this side is, the angle that is opposite to it will be the greatest. As you can see, if you were to write this in order, you will have 6, you will have 8, and you will have 9. Alright? 9 is the greatest number. In this case, if you look at this side where 9 is, AC will be the longest side according to the triangle inequality. 9 will be the longest side. And the angle that is opposite to it is angle B. Angle B will be the largest angle. In this case, major angle B is the largest angle. The larger this side is, the longer this side is, the larger the angle opposite to it is. In this case, 6 is the smallest number. Then the side that is opposite to 6 will be the shortest side. In this case, 6 BC will be the shortest side of the triangle. And hence, angle A will be the smallest angle. And it will be the median angle, the angle that is between the smallest and the largest. So when you're doing your work, you can always look at the angle. Alright, the larger the angle is, the side that is opposite to it will be the longest. The shorter the side is, the angle opposite to it will be the smallest. So especially that will be true when you're using law of sine and law of cosine. So when you're solving for the missing parts, you can always predict what the range your number should be. That will be a educated guess based on knowledge, based on observation. Once you know those properties, you can apply them. Alright, those are the theorems that we're going over. So let's take a break and we come back shortly. I resume again. Let's look at what we call the Inch theorem. The Inch theorem stated that if 2 sides of one triangle are congruent to 2 sides of another triangle, and the including angle of the first is larger than the included angle of the second, then the third side of the first triangle is longer than the third side of the second. That refers to the second triangle. Meaning that they're telling you this is SR is congruent to WV in the second triangle, and ST is congruent to WX. The included angle is the angle that located between those two congruent sides. That's your included angle. Since 100 is greater than AD, therefore SR will be longer than VX. Simple. That same thing we did earlier. So they just try to make it. If you have two triangles, if two sides in one triangle is congruent to two other sides in another triangle, then the included angle that is located between the two sides, right? If the angle is greater than in the second triangle, then the angle, that included angle that is opposite to that side, RC will be longer than the VX, hence RC greater than VX. That's all the Theorem is trying to clarify to you. And we also have the converse of the Theorem, that the converse stated the opposite thing. Let me say this is back. We're gonna decide whether each set of the length can form a triangle. So remember that you are given three sides of a triangle. So you need to prove that if you add any two sides, it must be greater than the third side. This is a sequence that you have to do at least 3 times. In this case, if I take 9, I take 7 plus 9, that will must be greater than 18. And if I take 9 plus 18, it must be greater than 7. And if I take 7 plus 18, it must be greater than 9. You must guess a yes at least 3 times. Once you do not get a yes, then it's false. In this case, if I take 7 plus 9, that will be 16. There's 16 greater than 18. That's a no. That will not be able to form a triangle. It doesn't matter, you continue. Now you will have 27 greater than 7. That will be yes. That will be 25 greater than 9. That will be a yes. Since you have a no, this will not be able to form a triangle. No triangle. Right? No triangle can be formed. In this case, you're done. The second one, you will say that if I take 2 plus 4, it must be greater than 5. Right? If I take 4 plus 5, it must be greater than 2. And if I take 2 plus 5, it must be greater than 4. So that's what you need to do. Then that will give you 6 greater than 5. That's a yes. I'll give you 9 greater than 2. That's a yes. And that will be 7 greater than 4. That's a yes. In this case, a triangle can be formed. Whenever you add the two sides, it must be greater than the third side. So you must get it to a yes. Once you get it, you can stop in the process. So let's try this one. Let's see if we can form a triangle. If I take this side plus this side, I will have 9 plus 10 must be greater than 11. If I have 10 plus 11 must be greater than 9. And if I have 9 plus 11 must be greater than 10. So let's see if we get our 3 yes. So if I have 10 plus 9 is 19, there's 19 greater than 11. That's a yes. That's promising. You can continue. 10 plus 11, that's 21. Is 21 greater than 9? That's a yes. And 9 plus 11 is 20. Is 20 greater than 10? That's a yes. You get your 3 yes in this case. Yes, a triangle can be formed. In the next scenarios, you have the following information. You have 12, 4, and 15. You want to know if a triangle can be formed. That either you have 12 plus 4 greater than 15. Then either you have 12 plus 4 greater than 15. That's one way. The other way, you can have 4 plus 15 greater than 12, and 12 plus 15 greater than 4. and let's say it give you a yes, then you'll have 12 plus 4 is 16. Is 16 greater than 15? That's a yes. And 4 plus 5 is 19. Is 19 greater than 12? That's a yes. And you have 12 plus 15 is 27. There's 27 greater than 4. That's a yes. You get your 3 yes. In this case, yes, a triangle can be formed. Once any two sides is greater than the third side, any triangle can be formed. Alright, let's try the last one in this group. So you are giving those lengths 10, 3, and 15. So I will have 10, the first side plus the second side greater than 15. And I will have 10 plus 3. 3 plus 15. 3 plus 15 greater than 10. And 10 plus 15 greater than 3. Yes, if we get our 3 yeses, in this case we will have 10 plus 3 is 13. Is 13 greater than 15? That's a no. In this case, you can stop because 13 is not greater than 15. Remember, you need to get 5. You need to get 3 yeses. 13 is not greater than 15. That's a no. In this case, you can conclude that a triangle cannot be formed. With those 3 sets of segments, meaning that if you try to make the triangle, one of the pieces will see some distance, then they will not be able to join because it's too short. So a triangle will not be formed in this situation. Alright, we're gonna come shortly. Alright, this is resuming with the set of other questions where you are supposed to find the range of possible values for x using the triangle inequality. In this case, you are giving two numbers, two sides of a triangle. You want to know what the possibility value of x that will satisfy that. In order to do this problem, so in this case, remember that you always add two numbers to see which is greater than the third side. So in this case, the easiest thing to do, you're going to take 3 plus 8, that will give you 11. So x cannot be anything than 11. So 11 has to be greater than x. 11 has to be below x. If x is 11, it's going to break that hole. So now you're going to subtract the lesser number from the larger number. That will be 5. If you subtract 3 from 8 is 5. In this case, x has to be greater than 5. Right? Okay. X has to be greater than 5. Right? X cannot be anything lower than 5, and x cannot be 5 either. Because if you take 5 here, that will be 5 plus 3 is 8. 8 is not greater than 8. In this case, those are the range of values. So you can pick any numbers between 5 and 11 that will make that true. If I take 6, then that will be true. If I take 10, that will be true. Anything between 5 and 11 will give you a solution. So remember, you need to add those two numbers. You add them, that will give you the upper term, and you subtract them, that will give you the lower term. So the same thing here. If I want to do number 2, I will have to add 5 plus 12, 17. Therefore, 17 has to be greater than x. Right? X has to be below 17. And I need to subtract 5 from 12. then x has to be greater than 7. If x is 7, it's not going to work. That will give you 7 plus 5 is 12. 12 is not greater than 12. So anything between 7 and 17 will work. So when I let x be 9, that will be work. So I'll say I will have 5 plus 9 is greater than 12. Then I can have 5 plus 12, alright, greater than 9. And I can have 9 plus 12 greater than 5. Then you will see it's work, always. Alright, remember that you need to find the upper tail, add those two numbers, that will be the highest. That anything below that number, then you subtract the lesser from the larger number, that will give you your lower tail. In this case, x has to be greater than 7, that will be your range, your possibility of answers. So this is the same situation that you have here. In this case, they don't do the triangle for you. In this case, you still have to do that. You take 13 plus 14, that will give you 27. So you will have 27, right? X, 27 has to be greater than x. Now you take 13 minus 14, then x has to be greater than 1. Right? If I take 2, it has to be work. So I'll let x be 2. Then I will have 2 plus 13 must be greater than 14. Then I will have 13 plus 14 must be greater than 2. Alright. Then I will have 2 plus 14 must be greater than 13. You will see it's work all the time. 2 plus 14 is 16. 16 greater than 13. 2 plus 13 is 15. 15 greater than 14. And 13 plus 14 is 27. 27 greater than 2. So then you get your 2 yeses. So the same thing you do here to find the range. Right? You want to know what possible value of x. Then you take 22 plus 27. That will give you 49. Then 49 is the upper tail. 49 has to be greater than x. Then to find the lower tail, you'll have to subtract 22 from 27. Then x has to be greater than 5. Then that will be your range. That will satisfy those. That was Mr. This is in triangle inequality. So this is one of the easiest sections in geometry if you comprehend that. Remember that the inequality, triangle inequality stated that if you add any two sides of a triangle, it must be greater than the third side. Then you have to do that 3 times. You must produce a yes 3 times. If you don't get a yes 3 times, therefore a triangle will not be able to be formed. And recall that in the triangle inequality stated that the larger the angle is, the side opposite to it is the longest. The smallest the angle is, the side opposite to it is the shortest. So remember those things. So when you're doing your test, before you make any answer, then you can evaluate those answers if it's making sense. Go and like, subscribe, and share, and make the grade. See you.